Good morning! Today, this is not the normal Angela that you see before you. Today, I am Angela, the human sponge. Cheers. It's knit tea retreat, classes day, knit tea retreat. I've run out of turmeric tea and we're not getting any more until our shopping is delivered on Monday. So I've got lemon tea instead. Not the way I like to start my day. Actually, we haven't run out, I've got one bag left, but I'm going to ration that for tomorrow, I think. So yes, knit tea retreat, classes day today. So this vlog's probably going to be fairly short. I'm not going to have too much time to sit and record, but I thought I'd just try and take you through the day and record as much as I can. This morning I am taking a class with Carrie Westerman, which I'm super excited about because I tried to take this class with her in person 2 years ago at Yarnporium and she wasn't well and had to cancel at the last minute. So I am really looking forward to that. And then this afternoon I'm doing a photography class, so all about photographing your knitwear, so I'm looking forward to that one too. I have, as I say, got my cup of tea and I need to go and gather some supplies for my class. There's nothing like being last minute, is there? I'm pretty sure there was no preparation to do. I did check that. Too late now if there was. But I do have to go and find some yarn scraps and needles and pens and pencils and stuff. So I'm going to sit and eat my breakfast first and then we'll go raid the scraps basket upstairs. So here is my list. No homework, thank goodness for that. Pen and paper, scraps of yarn and suitable needles for the yarn. So that seems fairly straightforward. Again, thank goodness for that, as I am last minute Larry. So we've got some worksheets that go with our classes, and I've just printed mine out for this, and luckily or unluckily I forgot to switch the paper around from portrait to landscape, so I've got some nice big spaces at the bottom of those class notes that I can use as my paper. I do have handily in our hands again, it's because the lens is right there. In our goodie box that we get as part of the retreat, we also got a handy dandy notebook. So if I run out of room on my bits of paper there, I can quickly grab that. As luck would have it, I am a messy what's it. So I already have a whole bunch of yarns in this tin that I collected up to take upstairs to my bin. It's mostly hand spun actually in here. I've got some bits of the fleeces. These were like the first sample of the fleeces that I spun up in the summer. I did a little sample of each of the fleeces. They're quite nice collection of neutral colours. And then I've got a real jumble of yarn. I've got some pink and some grey and some purple. And randomly in this tin, I also found a little beard, which obviously didn't make it onto a gnome for some reason or other. I'll go upstairs and I'll see if I can bring a little basket of stuff down, so I've got plenty of choice depending on which way the class goes. I am thinking that my landscape will probably be the beach because that's one that I know well, but the requirements does say don't limit your colour palette, so I'm going to try not to particularly sort of think about that. Just go grab some things. Well, as you can see here, my leftover basket is overflowing, so I think I've got plenty to pick from. Right, I've got my basket of supplies. I've decided I'm just going to hand wind these up into balls. I'm going to take them back downstairs, sit and drink another cuppa, and then I've just really gone to town and grabbed loads of leftovers, 4-ply yarns in different colours. I'm actually going to take my DPN jar down with me because we're only going to be making little samples, I'm sure. So I thought it'd be nice to have a range of sizes of needles, and you can knit a decent swatch on a pair of DPNs. So I think I am ready. This is my little setup. I've got my pens and my notes and my basket of goodies with my pot of DPNs and my notions pouch on the back. So hopefully I've got everything I'm going to need. It's 1:30 and the class is over. If ever you have the opportunity to take Carrie Westerman's Knitting the Landscape class, I would totally encourage you to do it. So much fun. She said the class was obviously a little bit different than it would have been in person, but she was so kind and generous with her thoughts and ideas. I didn't get much knitting done. I basically cast on my swatch. I guess the limitation of doing a class on Zoom is because we went round and discussed a person's idea. I was one of the last people to have that chat. So some people were able to knit quite a big amount on their swatches because they were kind of at the beginning, but that's absolutely fine. I have no issues with that whatsoever. I've got a little random sketch, which might be the beginning of a swatch, I don't know, but it's quite strange how I moved from this to this. But it was really fun, and yeah, I think it's a class you could do many times and have different kinds of ideas sparked. So yeah, it was really good. This afternoon I'm taking a photography class, photography for knitters, which might be quite interesting as it's a really gloomy day today. But I'm going to go and gather a couple of, all we need to do is grab a couple of our knitting projects that we can use for photographs. Really fun day so far. I'm going to get my basket of bits out the way and tidy up, ready for class 2. It's just after 8 and my day has ended. We had a brilliant second class this afternoon with a local photographer, Matthew Brown. I wasn't able to fully get stuck in with all of the techniques that he described because I was planning on using my phone, and because my iPhone is quite a few years old now, it didn't have all of the features that some of the newer phones have, but it has inspired me to get out my digital camera. It's a really basic one, but I purchased it probably about 8 years ago when I got made redundant from my last job. It was a little treat to myself, and I used it a little bit and then sort of put it away, and it hasn't really seen the light of day for the past couple of years. So battery is charging, and the photography class has inspired me to get that camera back out and have a play around and see if I can push my photography a little bit further, which will be fun. And then we've just had a little social evening. So yeah, been very Zoom heavy today, but it's been really fun. Both classes had sort of sections where we were listening to the tutors, so I had a fair bit of knitting time, which means I have finished Mother-in-law's second sock, all bar the Kitchener, so that is brilliant. I shall do that this evening and get that finished. Perfect timing for her birthday, which is next week. After that, I moved on to my test knit shawl. Oops. Pull those out, the needles have just fallen out, but I've finished the huge big squishy garter section. I have got the pattern down to 2 stitches. Now I'm going to go along and pick up along the border to put on the edging. So I'm really thrilled with that as well, because I wanted to have that section done of the test knit by the end of October, and we're still a week away from that, so ahead of my schedule for that, which is great. It means I can probably work on a couple of the other projects that I wanted to work on in October for the next week, which is really fun. This evening, yeah, see, I've worked on 3 projects today. I've been working on my dad's sock. This is sock number 1, and this will be for my dad for Christmas. And I'm just on the toe decreases, so not far away from finishing sock number 1. So I think I need to finish this evening too and cast on the second sock, ready for the last day of the retreat. Tomorrow is marketplace day. There is another class in the morning as well, but I only signed up for 2 classes this year. So I've got a free morning, and then there'll be lots of Instagram lives throughout the day, which anyone can join. If you hop onto the Knit Tea Retreat Instagram page, you'll see a little timetable of some of the vendors who are doing live videos throughout the afternoon. I am technically vending at the retreat, but I don't have a live slot, so it'll be a fairly relaxing day for me tomorrow, which will be amazing. And then James has made me promise to take a couple of days off next week, so hopefully I'll get a little bit of time off next week and plenty of knitting time in. So yeah, that's it, the end of day 24. I hope you have enjoyed coming along with me on my retreat adventures, and with any luck I shall see you again tomorrow.